The scream echoed through the sterile halls of Central Valley Animal Hospital, causing heads to turn and hearts to skip a beat. Dr. Rebecca Morgan, known for her steady hands and calm demeanor, had never lost her composure in 15 years of veterinary practice. But what she discovered in Thunder's stomach that rainy Tuesday morning would change everything she thought she knew about veterinary medicine. This is a story of mystery, determination, and a discovery that would send ripples through the entire veterinary community. A gentle spring breeze swept across the rolling hills of Riverside Town as Dr. Rebecca Morgan, or Becca as her clients called her, pulled up to her clinic. The morning sun cast long shadows across the Maple Valley Veterinary Clinic's freshly painted sign, and the familiar scent of hay and horses filled the air. Her dark hair was tied back in a practical ponytail, her blue scrubs already carrying traces of fur from her morning cuddle with her own rescue cat. This was supposed to be just another day at the clinic, filled with routine checkups and the occasional minor emergency. Emily Parker, her trusted veterinary technician, was already brewing coffee when Becca walked in. "Morning, Dr. Morgan," Jack Thompson called from Green Meadows stables. Something about Thunder acting strange. Emily's concerned expression matched the urgency in her voice. Thunder was well known in their small community, a champion show jumper owned by David Wilson, one of their most respected clients. Becca's professional instincts kicked in immediately. Thunder had been their patient since he was a colt, and any change in his behavior was worth investigating. She grabbed her medical bag and headed out, the gravel crunching under her boots as she made her way to her truck. The drive to Green Meadows stables took her through familiar countryside, past fields where horses grazed peacefully under the warming spring sun. Jack Thompson, the stable's trainer, was waiting by the gate when she arrived. His weathered face was creased with worry as he led her to Thunder's stall. "He's been off his feed for days, Doc. This morning he was pawing at the ground and looking at his flanks, never seen anything quite like it." Sarah Martinez, the stable hand, stood nearby, her dark eyes fixed on the usually spirited horse who now stood listlessly in his stall. Thunder's coat had lost its usual shine, and his head hung low. As Becca approached, she noticed the slight distension in his abdomen, subtle but alarming to her trained eye. Her initial examination revealed elevated heart rate and unusual gut sounds. Something wasn't right, but she couldn't put her finger on exactly what was wrong. This was more than simple colic. "We need to get him to Central Valley Animal Hospital," Becca announced, her voice carrying the authority of years of experience. "I want to do a full workup, including imaging." David Wilson, Thunder's owner, arrived just as they were preparing to transport the horse. His face paled at the news, but he trusted Becca implicitly. "Whatever it takes, Doc," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Dr. Michael Chen, the senior surgeon at Central Valley, joined Becca in the examination. Initial X-rays were inconclusive, but something about the density patterns in Thunder's stomach region set off alarm bells in Becca's mind. "We need to go in," she declared, her gut instinct screaming that time was of the essence. As they prepared for surgery, the operating room hummed with tension. Emily assisted with the anesthesia while Dr. Chen and Becca scrubbed in. The incision was textbook, but what they found was anything but routine. As Becca's skilled hands explored Thunder's stomach, her fingers touched something solid, something that shouldn't be there. The removal process began carefully, methodically, but nothing could have prepared them for what emerged. The scream that echoed through the hospital wasn't one of terror, but of astonishment. There in the surgical pan lay an intricate mass of metal and fabric, tangled and corroded. It was only as they carefully separated the mass that understanding dawned. They were looking at pieces of old fencing wire, bits of cloth, and most surprisingly, a collection of small metal objects that had no business being in a horse's stomach. "Get Dr. Foster on the phone," Becca ordered, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "The state animal health inspector needs to see this." As they closed Thunder up, her mind was already racing with implications. This wasn't just a medical case anymore. This was something that could affect the entire equestrian community. Dr. Amanda Foster arrived within the hour, her official badge glinting under the hospital lights. Her eyes widened as she examined the contents of the surgical pan. "This is unprecedented," she muttered, carefully photographing each item. The metal pieces showed signs of deliberate placement. This was no accident. As Thunder recovered in post-op, Becca and her team began piecing together the puzzle. The metal fragments matched a type of fencing material recently installed at several local stables. The cloth bits bore traces of feed additives. Someone had been deliberately contaminating feed supplies, and Thunder was just the first victim they'd discovered. News traveled fast in their small community. By evening, the Valley Herald had caught wind of the story. Becca found herself at the center of an investigation that would reveal a disturbing pattern of negligence in feed supply chains. Her discovery had potentially saved not just Thunder, but countless other horses from a similar fate. The following days brought an outpouring of support from the local horse community. Jack Thompson organized emergency inspections at Green Meadows stables, while Sarah Martinez helped create a new feed monitoring system. David Wilson, grateful for Thunder's recovery, funded a community awareness program about feed safety. In her office at Maple Valley Clinic, Becca began documenting everything. Her detailed reports would later become the foundation for new safety protocols adopted by stables across the state. Emily helped organize community meetings where they shared their findings and educated other horse owners about warning signs to watch for. Thunder's recovery was remarkable. Within weeks, he was back in his paddock at Green Meadows, his coat regaining its shine. The spark returned to his eyes, and soon he was touching the hearts of everyone who heard his story. David Wilson delayed Thunder's return to the show circuit, instead bringing him to local schools where children learned about animal care and responsibility. Dr. Michael Chen presented their findings at the regional veterinary conference where Becca's quick thinking and surgical skill were praised by colleagues from across the country. But for Becca, the real victory wasn't in the professional recognition. It was in the changes their discovery had sparked in the community. 1 month after the surgery, Becca stood at the fence of Green Meadows stables, watching Thunder trot playfully around his paddock. Jack Thompson joined her, leaning on the weathered wood. "You know, Doc," he said thoughtfully, "sometimes the biggest discoveries come from just trusting your instincts and not being afraid to dig deeper." The case had transformed Maple Valley Veterinary Clinic. What started as a mysterious illness in one horse had evolved into a movement for better safety standards and community awareness. Feed suppliers were now subject to stricter quality controls, and stable owners had implemented new security measures. Every victory, no matter how small, felt like a step toward a safer future for all animals in their care. As the sun set over, Pine Ridge, casting long shadows across the paddocks of Green Meadows stables, Becca reflected on how one unexpected discovery had created such profound change. Thunder's case had reminded everyone in the veterinary community that sometimes the most important breakthroughs come from being willing to look beyond the obvious, to listen to that inner voice that says something isn't quite right. This story isn't just about a shocking medical discovery. It's about the power of community, the importance of trust, and the difference that one person's dedication can make. For every animal lover, horse owner, or aspiring veterinarian out there, remember that your instincts and observations could be the key to preventing similar incidents in the future. If this story touched your heart and opened your eyes to the importance of vigilance in animal care, take a moment to subscribe and share it with others who might benefit from this knowledge. Together, we can create a safer world for all our animal companions. Every like, comment and share helps spread awareness about the importance of proper animal care and the need for continued vigilance in our equestrian communities. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with more incredible stories of discovery, healing, and the amazing bonds between humans and animals. Your support helps us continue sharing these important messages and making a difference in animal welfare. Thank you for being part of this journey. Dawn broke over Central Valley Animal Hospital as Dr. Rebecca Morgan pored over Thunder's test. Results. The morning light cast long shadows through the windows of the lab, where scattered X-rays and tissue samples told a story that grew more disturbing with each passing hour. Emily Parker entered with fresh coffee, her usual cheerful demeanor tempered by the gravity of their discovery. "The metal analysis came back from the state lab," Emily said, sliding a thick envelope across the desk. "Dr. Foster says she's never seen anything like it." Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. Becca opened the report with trembling fingers, her eyes widening as she absorbed the implications. The fragments found in Thunder's stomach weren't just random pieces of metal. They were specifically treated with a substance that made them attractive to horses. Dr. Michael Chen joined them, his normally immaculate lab coat showing signs of a sleepless night spent analyzing samples. "The coating contains modified mineral compounds," he explained, pointing to a complex chemical formula on the report. "Someone engineered these pieces to be deliberately ingested. This wasn't an accident." The revelation sent a chill down Becca's spine. She thought of the dozens of stables in Riverside Town, each potentially at risk. Her phone buzzed with a message from Jack Thompson at Green Meadows Stables. More horses were showing similar symptoms. The situation was escalating faster than anyone had anticipated. Sarah Martinez had already begun checking feed supplies at surrounding farms, her years of experience as a stable hand proving invaluable. Her network of contacts in the local equestrian community brought reports of unusual behavior in horses across 3 counties. Each case shared subtle but unmistakable patterns with Thunder's condition. David Wilson arrived at the hospital, his face etched with concern. As Thunder's owner, he'd spent considerable resources helping fund the investigation. "The Valley Herald wants to run a story," he informed them. "People need to know what's happening to protect their animals." Becca agreed, but she knew they needed more concrete evidence before going public. Dr. Amanda Foster set up a temporary office at Maple Valley Veterinary Clinic, coordinating with state officials and agricultural inspectors. Maps covered the walls, marking affected areas and potential sources of contamination. The pattern that emerged was troubling. The incidents clustered around specific feed supply routes. Miller's feed store became ground zero for the investigation. The owner, Tom Miller, opened his records to scrutiny, revealing a complex supply chain that stretched across state lines. Every delivery, every supplier, and every handler came under examination. The scope of potential contamination was staggering. Back at Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson implemented strict new feeding protocols. Each batch of hay and grain underwent testing before reaching the horses. Sarah worked tirelessly, documenting every change in the animal's behavior. The entire stable operated like a carefully monitored research facility. Emily discovered a crucial link while reviewing feed delivery schedules. Certain shipments coincided perfectly with the onset of symptoms in affected horses. The timing was too precise to be coincidental. Dr. Chen's analysis of these specific batches revealed trace amounts of the same chemical compounds found in Thunder's stomach. The investigation led them to a warehouse on the outskirts of Riverside Town, Ancient loading docks and rusted machinery spoke of decades of agricultural commerce. Here, among faded invoices and dusty ledgers, Becca found the first solid evidence of tampering. Hidden among legitimate shipping records were coded entries that made no sense until they did. Dr. Foster brought in forensic experts from the state capital. Their specialized equipment detected residue of the harmful compounds on old shipping containers. The warehouse became a crime scene, yellow tape marking off areas where evidence technicians worked methodically, piecing together a disturbing puzzle. The breakthrough came during a late-night session reviewing security footage. In grainy images from months ago, figures moved through the warehouse during off hours. Equipment that should have been idle hummed to life, mixing substances into feed supplies. The perpetrators wore uniforms from a company that didn't exist. Local law enforcement joined the investigation, led by Detective James Roberts. His team uncovered a network of shell companies and fake identities. Someone had orchestrated an elaborate scheme to introduce contaminated materials into the equestrian supply chain. The question of why loomed larger than how. Thunder's recovery continued to provide vital clues. His blood work showed patterns that helped identify other affected horses before they became critically ill. Dr. Chen developed a screening protocol that could detect exposure early, potentially saving countless animals from surgery. The regional veterinary community mobilized. Clinics across 3 states began testing horses and feed supplies. A database of symptoms and test results grew, painting a picture of an operation that had been running undetected for months, possibly years. Each new piece of evidence added urgency to their investigation. At Miller's feed store, Tom Miller remembered a strange delivery that arrived 6 months ago. The paperwork seemed legitimate, but the drivers were unfamiliar. Security cameras caught only partial license plates, but it was enough for Detective Roberts to trace the vehicle to a rental company in the next state. Dr. Foster's team discovered similar incidents reported in other states, previously dismissed as isolated cases. The pattern stretched across the country, following major equestrian event circuits. The contamination wasn't random. It targeted areas with high concentrations of valuable show horses. Becca and Emily spent countless hours in the lab, analyzing feed samples and tissue specimens. Their findings suggested the contamination method had evolved over time, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. Whoever was behind this had extensive knowledge of veterinary medicine and animal behavior. The Valley Herald ran their story, carefully worded to alert horse owners without causing panic. The response was immediate. Calls flooded into Maple Valley Veterinary Clinic from concerned owners across the region. Each call added another piece to the puzzle, revealing the true extent of the contamination. Sarah Martinez organized a network of stable hands and farm workers to monitor feed deliveries and horse behavior. Their grassroots surveillance system proved invaluable, catching several suspicious shipments before they reached the animals. The community had become its own protection force. Jack Thompson converted part of Green Meadows stables into a temporary testing facility. Educational workshops drew horse owners from surrounding counties, eager to learn about protecting their animals. Thunder, now fully recovered, became a living testament to the importance of vigilance and quick action. David Wilson used his connections in the show jumping circuit to spread awareness. Other competitors shared similar stories. Mysterious illnesses, unexplained behavioral changes, and mounting veterinary bills. The pattern stretched back years, hidden in plain sight, until Thunder's case brought it to light. Dr. Chen's research revealed something even more disturbing. The contaminated materials were designed to cause chronic health issues rather than acute illness. The intent wasn't to kill horses, but to ensure their long-term dependence on specific medical treatments and supplements. Late one evening, as Becca reviewed case files in her office, A breakthrough came from an unexpected source. An old invoice at Miller's feed store bore a watermark that matched documents from a pharmaceutical company recently investigated for unethical research practices. The connection was subtle but undeniable. The FBI joined the investigation, bringing resources and expertise that expanded their understanding of the operation's scope. Agent Lisa Carter specialized in agricultural crimes, and her insights helped connect Thunder's case to a larger pattern of corporate misconduct in the veterinary pharmaceutical industry. Dr. Foster's office became command central for a multi-state task force. Evidence boards covered every wall, connecting feed suppliers, transportation companies, and shell corporations. The conspiracy reached higher than anyone had initially suspected, touching major players in the equestrian industry. Thunder's blood work provided the key to understanding the contaminant's composition. Dr. Chen's analysis revealed similarities to experimental supplements that never received FDA approval. Someone had found a way to test rejected compounds on unknowing horses. Through contaminated feed, the warehouse yielded more secrets under forensic scrutiny. Hidden compartments contained documentation linking the operation to a network of research facilities. The contamination wasn't just about creating dependent customers. It was an unauthorized drug trial conducted on a massive scale. As spring turned to summer, the investigation's impact rippled through the equestrian community. New testing protocols became standard practice. Feed suppliers implemented stricter security measures. The incident that began with one horse's mysterious illness had exposed systemic vulnerabilities in animal care and protection. Emily organized a database of affected horses, tracking their recovery and long-term health outcomes. The information proved invaluable for understanding the contaminant's effects and developing more effective treatments. Thunder's case had opened a new chapter in veterinary research and animal protection. The sun set over Pine Ridge as Becca finished another long day of investigation. In the gathering dusk, she watched Thunder trot confidently around his paddock at Green Meadows Stables. His recovery symbolized hope, proof that even the most complex mysteries could be unraveled through dedication, expertise, and community. Cooperation. Riverside Town had changed. What began as one veterinarian's shocking discovery had grown into a movement for transparency and accountability in animal care. Feed deliveries were monitored, stables shared information, and horses received better protection than ever before. The mystery wasn't fully solved, but its exposure had already made the world safer for countless animals. As night fell over the valley, lights burned in laboratories and offices where dedicated professionals continued their work. The investigation that started with Thunder's surgery had become a catalyst for change, reminding everyone that the safety of our animal companions depends on constant vigilance and the courage to look deeper when something seems amiss. Agent Lisa Carter's office in the federal building hummed with activity as analysts pored over financial records stretching back 5 years. The pharmaceutical connection had opened a Pandora's box of shell companies, offshore accounts, and shadowy research facilities. Dr. Rebecca Morgan sat at a conference table, surrounded by documents that painted an increasingly disturbing picture. Rain pelted against the windows as thunder rolled across the valley. The weather matched the mood in the room as Agent Carter revealed a series of photographs taken at an abandoned research facility in the next state. The images showed sophisticated equipment designed for manufacturing feed additives, all carefully hidden behind the facade of a defunct grain storage operation. Dr. Michael Chen arrived with new lab results, his expression grave. The chemical compounds found in Thunder's stomach matched experimental formulas patented by Global Vet Pharmaceuticals, a company that had supposedly ceased operations 3 years ago. But the patents had been quietly transferred through a series of holding companies, ending up in the hands of someone they hadn't expected. Detective Roberts spread a series of surveillance photos across the table. They showed Marcus Henderson, former Chief Research Officer of Global Vet, meeting with current executives from major feed supply companies. The meetings took place at exclusive restaurants, private airfields, and secluded estates. The dates corresponded perfectly with changes in feed distribution patterns. Emily Parker had been tracking recovery rates among affected horses. Her data revealed something startling. Horses that received certain brand-name medications showed significantly slower improvement than those treated with generic alternatives. The implication was clear. Someone was profiting from both the illness and the cure. At Green Meadows stables, Jack Thompson discovered old feed bags hidden in a forgotten storage room. The manufacturing dates coincided with the first reported cases of mysterious illnesses. Dr. Foster's team found trace amounts of the same compounds that had sickened Thunder, but in an earlier, less refined form. The contamination protocol had been refined over time, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. Sarah Martinez's network of stable hands reported similar discoveries across the region. Each find added another piece to a puzzle that stretched back further than anyone had imagined. The operation hadn't started with Thunder. He had simply been the first case where someone looked deep enough to find the truth. Dr. Foster received an anonymous email containing shipping manifests from a company called Agritech Solutions. The company appeared legitimate on paper, but closer inspection revealed it was created just days after Global Vet's apparent shutdown. The same people were behind both operations, using different names to continue their illegal research. The Valley Herald's investigative reporter Rachel Stevens uncovered a pattern of strategic acquisitions in the veterinary pharmaceutical industry. Companies that raised concerns about contaminated feed had been bought out or forced into bankruptcy. The few who resisted faced mysterious accidents or sudden financial difficulties. David Wilson's contacts in the show jumping circuit provided another crucial lead. Several prestigious stables had been approached by consultants offering specialized feed supplements guaranteed to enhance performance. The consultants represented companies that traced back to Henderson's network. Tom Miller found more evidence at his feed store, a series of invoices paid through a complex chain of international banks. The payment amounts made no sense for standard feed shipments, suggesting money laundering on top of the contamination scheme. FBI forensic accountants began unraveling the financial web. The investigation took an unexpected turn when Dr. Chen analyzed soil samples from farms surrounding the warehouse. The contamination hadn't just affected feed, it had leached into the ground, creating environmental hazards that would take years to clean up. The scope of the crime expanded to include environmental violations. Late one night, as Becca reviewed security footage from Miller's feed store, she noticed something odd. The same delivery truck appeared multiple times, but with slightly different company logos. Each visit corresponded with reports of sick horses in the following weeks. The driver's face was never clearly visible, but his movements suggested military or law enforcement training. Agent Carter's team raided several storage facilities simultaneously. Across 3 states, they found equipment for manufacturing the contaminants, falsified quality control documents, and evidence of an extensive distribution network. But the masterminds remained elusive, always one step ahead of the investigation. Dr. Foster received pressure from unexpected sources to close the investigation. Anonymous calls suggested leaving well enough alone. When she refused, funding for her department faced sudden scrutiny. The opposition only confirmed they were on the right track. Emily discovered a connection between affected horses and upcoming competitions. The contamination targeted animals likely to compete against horses owned by a select group of wealthy investors. The scheme wasn't just about selling treatments. It was about manipulating competition results and betting odds. The breakthrough came from an unlikely source. A janitor at the abandoned research facility found a hidden USB drive containing encrypted files. FBI cyber analysts worked around the clock to crack the encryption, revealing years of research data and communications between conspirators. Thunder's blood samples continued to provide valuable evidence. Dr. Chen isolated markers that showed how the contaminants evolved, proving the operation had been refining their formula through systematic trial and error. Each variation was carefully documented in the encrypted files. Sarah Martinez organized a meeting of stable hands and farm workers at the local community center. Their combined observations revealed a pattern of suspicious deliveries and unusual animal behavior stretching back almost a decade. The conspiracy had grown so gradually that no one noticed until it was nearly too late. Detective Roberts interviewed former Global Vet employees who'd been silent for years. Fear had kept them quiet, but Thunder's case gave them courage to speak out. Their testimonies painted a picture of systematic abuse of animal testing regulations and deliberate contamination of the feed supply chain. The Valley Herald published a series of exposés, carefully timed to prevent the conspirators from destroying evidence. Each article revealed another layer of corruption, from falsified safety tests to bribed inspectors. The public response was immediate and overwhelming. Dr. Foster's office became a clearinghouse for information as similar cases emerged nationwide. The evidence suggested a coordinated effort to create a captive market for specialized veterinary treatments. The conspirators had essentially engineered an artificial epidemic for profit. Jack Thompson's security cameras caught someone attempting to access Green Meadows Stable's feed storage after hours. The intruder escaped, but left behind equipment for adding substances to the feed. Forensic analysis linked the equipment to Global Vet's former research division. The FBI's Financial Crimes Unit traced money flowing through offshore accounts back to a holding company owned by Henderson's former partners. The funds matched payments made to feed suppliers, transportation companies, and certain veterinary clinics. The economic scope of the conspiracy was staggering. Rachel Stevens received an anonymous tip about a private airstrip where unmarked planes made regular deliveries. Surveillance revealed connections to other contaminated feed cases across the country. The operation had its own distribution network, completely separate from normal supply chains. As summer heat baked the valley, Becca worked late into the night at Central Valley Animal Hospital, examining tissue samples from newly identified cases. Each sample added to their understanding of how the contamination spread and evolved. The evidence was building toward an inescapable conclusion. Thunder's recovery had sparked an investigation that exposed decades of systematic abuse in the veterinary pharmaceutical industry. What began with one horse's mysterious illness had revealed a conspiracy touching every level of the equestrian world. But the most shocking revelations were yet to come. Dr. Michael Chen's latest analysis suggested the contaminants were just the beginning. Hidden in the encrypted files were plans for more sophisticated compounds designed to create long-term dependency on specific treatments. The conspiracy wasn't just about current profits. It was about controlling the future of veterinary medicine. Midnight cast long shadows through the laboratories of Central Valley Animal Hospital as Dr. Rebecca Morgan made a startling discovery. Under the electron microscope, the latest samples revealed something nobody had expected. The contaminants weren't just chemical compounds. They contained engineered nanoparticles designed to bypass traditional detection methods. Emily Parker rushed into the lab, clutching a stack of reports from other veterinary hospitals across the country. Similar nanoparticles had been found in cases stretching from coast to coast, but no one had connected the dots until now. The scope of the conspiracy suddenly expanded exponentially. Dr. Michael Chen worked feverishly at his computer, cross-referencing the nanoparticle signatures. With published research papers, The technology matched experimental work conducted by a secretive biotech firm, Nanovet Industries, which had mysterious connections to Marcus Henderson's former colleagues at Global Vet Pharmaceuticals. Agent Lisa Carter arrived at dawn, accompanied by a team of specialists from the CDC's veterinary division. The presence of engineered nanoparticles raised concerns about potential mutations and long-term effects on the food chain. What had begun as a case of feed contamination now posed potential risks to public health. Detective Roberts received an anonymous tip about a private research facility hidden in the mountains near Pine Ridge. Satellite imagery revealed suspicious activity, regular deliveries by unmarked vehicles, unusual security measures, and equipment that matched the specifications found in the encrypted files. Sarah Martinez's network reported a new pattern emerging. Horses that had shown symptoms similar to Thunder's were now exhibiting unexpected behavioral changes. The nanoparticles appeared to be affecting their nervous systems in ways that hadn't been previously documented. At Green Meadow Stables, Jack Thompson installed advanced security systems after discovering sophisticated surveillance equipment hidden in the feed storage area. Someone had been monitoring their operation, gathering data on the effects of the contaminated feed on the horses. Dr. Amanda Foster coordinated with international veterinary organizations, uncovering similar cases in Europe and Asia. The conspiracy had gone global, with evidence suggesting coordinated research efforts across multiple continents. The manipulation of the equestrian world extended far beyond their quiet valley. David Wilson's contacts in the racing industry revealed a disturbing trend. Several prestigious stables had received offers from a new pharmaceutical company promising revolutionary performance supplements. The company's incorporation documents led back to shell corporations connected to Nanovet Industries. Tom Miller discovered that his feed store wasn't the only one infiltrated. A nationwide audit of agricultural supply chains revealed systematic tampering at key distribution points. The contamination network had exploited vulnerabilities in the system that no one had previously considered. Rachel Stevens, following leads from her sources, uncovered a connection between Nanovet Industries and military research contracts. The nanoparticle technology had originally been developed for biological warfare defense, but someone had adapted it for commercial exploitation. Late one evening, as Becca reviewed Thunder's latest test results, she noticed an anomaly in his blood work. The nanoparticles were changing, adapting to his immune system's responses. It wasn't just contamination. It was an evolving biological system designed for long-term manipulation. Dr. Chen's analysis of soil samples from affected farms revealed another shocking discovery. The nanoparticles were surviving in the environment, potentially affecting wild animals and contaminating groundwater. The environmental impact could last for generations. Agent Carter's team intercepted communications between Nanovet executives and foreign biotechnology firms. The conspiracy involved international espionage, with various groups competing to control the future of veterinary medicine through engineered biological agents. Emily's database of affected horses revealed patterns that defied conventional medical understanding. The nanoparticles appeared to be programming the animals' bodies to respond only to specific treatments, creating a closed loop of dependency on pharmaceuticals produced by the conspirators. The Valley Herald's investigation led Rachel Stevens to a retired geneticist who had worked on the original nanoparticle research. His testimony suggested the technology had been designed with capabilities far beyond what was officially acknowledged, including the potential for genetic manipulation. Dr. Foster received reports of unusual wildlife behavior in areas surrounding contaminated farms. The nanoparticles had entered the local ecosystem, affecting everything from birds to small mammals. The environmental crisis was expanding beyond the equestrian community. Sarah Martinez organized a coalition of stable workers to monitor feed, supplies, and animal behavior across the region. Their observations helped create a real-time map of contamination spread, revealing patterns that aided the investigation's understanding of the conspiracy's scope. Jack Thompson discovered documentation suggesting that Green Meadow Stables had been deliberately targeted due to its influence in the show jumping circuit. The conspirators had planned to use the stable's reputation to legitimize their contaminated products. Detective Roberts interviewed a former NanoVet employee who provided crucial information about the company's research facilities. The witness described experiments designed to test the limits of the nanoparticle technology, regardless of the consequences for animal subjects. Thunder's ongoing recovery provided vital data about the body's natural defenses against the engineered particles. Dr. Chen's research suggested that some horses possessed genetic factors that made them more resistant to the contamination, offering hope for developing protective measures. A breakthrough came when Agent Carter's team identified a pattern in international financial transactions. The conspiracy's funding flowed through a complex network of cryptocurrency exchanges, making it nearly impossible to trace using conventional methods. Dr. Foster's office coordinated with environmental protection agencies to begin assessing the full impact of the nanoparticle contamination. Initial surveys indicated the particles had spread further than anyone had imagined, potentially affecting agricultural areas beyond the equestrian community. The FBI's cyber division made progress, decrypting more files from the hidden USB drive, revealing detailed research protocols and communication logs. The documents showed that the conspiracy had been planned for years before implementation began. Emily's analysis of recovery patterns led to an important discovery. Horses treated with certain traditional herbal remedies showed increased resistance to the nanoparticles. This finding suggested possible natural countermeasures to the engineered contamination. Rachel Stevens received photographs from an anonymous source showing clandestine meetings between NanoVet executives and representatives from major pharmaceutical companies. The images proved that industry leaders had known about the contamination scheme, but chose to profit from it. At Miller's feed store, Tom discovered hidden documentation revealing that the contaminated feed had been strategically distributed to create clusters of affected horses. The pattern suggested a calculated approach to testing different variations of the nanoparticle formula. Dr. Chen's latest research indicated that the nanoparticles could be transmitted between animals under certain conditions. This discovery raised new concerns about the potential for exponential spread through horse populations. The Valley Herald published a comprehensive report linking the conspiracy to broader issues in the pharmaceutical industry. The article exposed how corporate profit motives had compromised animal welfare and public safety on a massive scale. Sarah Martinez's network identified several previously unknown storage facilities where contaminated feed had been stockpiled. Each location contained evidence of sophisticated quality control measures, suggesting the operation was far more organized than initially believed. Agent Carter coordinated with international law enforcement to track shipments of specialized equipment used in nanoparticle production. The trail led to multiple research facilities operating under various front companies across several continents. As summer storms rolled across the valley, Becca worked late into the night, examining new evidence. Each discovery added another layer to their understanding of the conspiracy's true nature, but also raised more questions about its ultimate objectives. The investigation had moved far beyond Thunder's initial case, revealing a web of scientific, Manipulation, corporate greed, and environmental destruction, the quiet world of veterinary medicine had become the centerpiece of a global conspiracy that threatened the future of animal health and welfare. Lightning split the sky above Central Valley Animal Hospital as Dr. Rebecca Morgan examined results. From the latest genetic sequencing tests, the data streaming across her screen revealed something unprecedented. The nanoparticles weren't just surviving in the host organisms, they were evolving, adapting their structure in response to treatment attempts. A knock at the laboratory door startled her from her concentration. Agent Lisa Carter entered, accompanied by a woman Becca had never seen before. Dr. Eleanor Wright, a leading expert in bioengineering from the National Science Foundation, had flown in specifically to examine their findings. Her presence confirmed the gravity of their discovery. Dr. Wright spent hours analyzing Thunder's blood samples under specialized equipment she'd brought from her own laboratory. Her expression grew increasingly troubled as she documented the nanoparticles' behavior. These weren't simple contaminants. They represented a technological breakthrough that shouldn't have been possible with current scientific capabilities. Emily Parker burst into the lab with urgent news from her monitoring network. Horses at 3 different stables in neighboring counties had suddenly developed symptoms unlike anything previously documented. The animals exhibited synchronized behavioral changes, moving in perfect unison at specific times of day, as if responding to an unseen signal. Dr. Michael Chen's analysis of the new cases revealed elevated electromagnetic readings in affected areas. The nanoparticles appeared to be responding to specific frequencies, suggesting a level of external control that added a terrifying new dimension to the conspiracy. Someone wasn't just poisoning horses, they were attempting to create a network of controllable biological agents. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson installed electromagnetic monitoring equipment borrowed from a nearby university. The readings spiked at regular intervals, coinciding with the strange behavioral patterns. The coordination of these events was too precise to be natural. Sarah Martinez's team discovered hidden transmitters disguised as ordinary stable equipment. These devices, when analyzed by FBI technical experts, proved capable of broadcasting signals at frequencies that matched the nanoparticles' response patterns. The conspiracy had created an invisible web of control across the entire region. Detective Roberts received a coded message from an informant within Nanovet Industries. The source revealed that the company had constructed a vast underground research facility beneath an abandoned military base. Satellite imagery showed unusual power consumption patterns consistent with large-scale scientific operations. Dr. Amanda Foster coordinated with military intelligence to analyze the facility's energy signature. The power usage indicated technology far beyond anything officially documented in civilian research. The operation had access to classified developments in quantum computing and biological engineering. David Wilson's connections in international equestrian circles reported similar patterns emerging at prestigious stables worldwide. The synchronized behavior had been dismissed as coincidence until now, but the global scope suggested a coordinated effort to establish control over elite horse populations. Tom Miller discovered sophisticated monitoring equipment hidden within feed storage systems across multiple facilities. The devices tracked not just inventory and distribution, but also gathered data on environmental conditions and animal behavior. Every feed bag became a potential surveillance tool. Rachel Stevens uncovered documents linking Nanovet Industries to classified government programs dating back to the Cold War. The company's founders had connections to experiments in biological control and mass behavior modification. Their current operation represented the culmination of decades of secret research. Late one night, as thunder rolled across the valley, Dr. Wright made a breakthrough in understanding the nanoparticles' communication mechanism. The particles formed quantum-entangled networks within host organisms, allowing instantaneous information transfer across vast distances. The implications were staggering. Agent Carter's team intercepted transmissions between hidden relay stations, positioned throughout the region. The signals contained encoded instructions for the nanoparticle networks, orchestrating the synchronized behaviors observed in affected horses. Each transmission represented another strand in an invisible web of control. Emily's database revealed patterns suggesting the contamination followed strategic phases. Initial exposure created baseline networks within host organisms, while subsequent transmissions refined control parameters. The conspiracy had engineered a progressive system of biological manipulation. The Valley Herald's investigation led Rachel Stevens to a whistleblower from a quantum computing facility. The source provided evidence that NanoVet Industries had acquired restricted technology through corporate espionage, adapting it for biological applications in ways that defied current scientific understanding. Dr. Foster's environmental monitoring stations detected unusual electromagnetic anomalies spreading beyond the initial contamination zones. The nanoparticle networks were expanding autonomously, establishing connections with unaffected organisms through quantum mechanisms that challenged conventional physics. Sarah Martinez organized a task force to map the distribution of hidden transmitters across the region. Their work revealed a geometric pattern suggesting precise calculation in the placement of control devices. The conspiracy had engineered not just biological networks, but a sophisticated infrastructure to manage them. Jack Thompson discovered that recent renovations at multiple stables had included installation of equipment supplied by shell companies linked to NanoVet Industries. Each installation provided another node in their control network, expanding their reach while maintaining perfect secrecy. Detective Roberts coordinated with cybersecurity experts to analyze the quantum signatures of intercepted transmissions. The encryption protecting the control signals utilized principles that surpassed known technological capabilities, suggesting involvement from classified military research programs. Thunder's ongoing recovery provided crucial insights into the nanoparticle network's vulnerabilities. Dr. Chen's research identified specific frequencies that disrupted their quantum coherence, offering potential methods for breaking the conspiracy's control over affected animals. Agent Carter received classified briefings about similar technology being developed by foreign powers. The race to establish quantum biological control systems had become an invisible war, with horse populations serving as unwitting test subjects for competing national interests. Dr. Wright's analysis suggested the nanoparticle networks could potentially interface with neural systems in ways that transcended normal biological limitations. The conspiracy wasn't just seeking control. They were attempting to create a new form of enhanced life under centralized direction. The FBI's quantum computing division detected massive data transfers between hidden relay stations during specific astronomical alignments. The conspiracy had incorporated celestial mechanics into their control system, using natural phenomena to amplify their signal's effectiveness. Emily's monitoring systems recorded instances of apparent telepathic communication between affected horses. The quantum networks had evolved beyond their original parameters, enabling forms of connection that bordered on the supernatural. Science struggled to explain what they were observing. Rachel Stevens uncovered patents filed by NanoVet Industries for technology that wouldn't be feasible for decades, according to mainstream science. The conspiracy had access to revolutionary developments being suppressed from public knowledge, using them to further their agenda of biological control. At Miller's feed store, Tom found evidence of systematic atmospheric sampling by concealed sensors The conspiracy monitored environmental conditions that affected quantum coherence, adjusting their control signals to maintain optimal network performance across varying conditions. Dr. Chen's research team identified unique quantum signatures associated with different behavioral modifications. The conspiracy could theoretically program specific responses into entire populations of horses, creating coordinated actions on a massive scale. The Valley Herald published a heavily redacted exposé on classified biological control programs, carefully avoiding direct references to current events while illuminating the historical context of the conspiracy's technological capabilities. Sarah Martinez's network documented increasing sophistication in the synchronized behaviors of affected horses. The animals demonstrated capabilities that exceeded normal biological limitations, suggesting successful enhancement through quantum biological integration. Agent Carter's investigation revealed connections between nano-vet industries and classified aerospace programs. The conspiracy's ultimate goals appeared to extend beyond terrestrial applications, with implications for biological adaptation to extreme environments. As autumn approached, the scale of the conspiracy's ambitions became clear. They hadn't just created a system for controlling horses, they had developed a prototype for quantum biological networking that could revolutionize the relationship between consciousness and technology. Thunder's case had exposed more than a simple contamination scheme. It had revealed humanity's first steps toward a transformation that would challenge the very definition of life and intelligence. The quiet world of veterinary medicine had become ground zero for an evolutionary leap that no one was prepared to confront. Lightning illuminated the underground laboratory where Dr. Eleanor Wright hunched over a quantum resonance scanner. The machine hummed softly, mapping the intricate networks forming within tissue samples from affected horses. Each scan revealed patterns that defied conventional understanding of cellular biology. Dr. Rebecca Morgan stood nearby, watching as three-dimensional holographic models materialized above the scanning platform. The nanoparticle networks weren't just communicating. They were creating structured pathways through living tissue that resembled the architecture of advanced computer systems. A series of rapid knocks at the laboratory door preceded Emily Parker's entrance. She carried a tablet displaying real-time data from monitoring stations across the state. The quantum networks were synchronizing on an unprecedented scale, creating coherent fields that stretched for hundreds of miles. Agent Lisa Carter arrived, with classified reports from military installations near the affected zones. Equipment malfunctions and unexplained phenomena coincided perfectly with the network synchronization events. The quantum fields were interfering with sensitive defense systems, raising concerns at the highest levels of national security. Dr. Michael Chen's analysis of atmospheric data revealed another layer of complexity. The nanoparticle networks responded to solar activity and geomagnetic fluctuations, suggesting an integration with natural electromagnetic fields that encompass the entire planet. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented unusual atmospheric phenomena during network synchronization events. Stable hands reported seeing strange lights and experiencing unexplained technical malfunctions. The quantum fields were beginning to affect the visible world. Sarah Martinez coordinated with researchers at nearby universities to study the environmental impact of the expanding quantum networks. Plant life near affected stables showed accelerated growth patterns and unprecedented cellular organization. The network's influence extended beyond animal hosts. Detective Roberts received encrypted files from an anonymous source within the defense industry. The documents detailed classified experiments in quantum biology dating back decades. Thunder's case had exposed the tip of an iceberg that touched the deepest secrets of military research. Dr. Amanda Foster worked with environmental protection teams to map the spread of quantum-affected zones. Each successive survey revealed exponential growth in network coverage. The phenomenon was rewriting the rules of biological interaction across entire ecosystems. David Wilson's international contacts reported similar phenomena at equestrian centers worldwide. The quantum networks showed signs of spontaneous coordination across continental distances, suggesting the emergence of a global system beyond human control. Tom Miller discovered that feed storage facilities had become focal points for quantum field activity. The metallic structures acted as resonance chambers, amplifying the network's communication capabilities. Every grain silo potentially served as a node in an expanding quantum web. Rachel Stevens investigated connections between nanovet industries and classified space research programs. The quantum networking technology had applications far beyond terrestrial biology, with implications for long-term space colonization and human enhancement. Dr. Wright's latest experiments revealed something unprecedented. The quantum networks were developing novel structures that resembled neural pathways, but operated at a quantum level. The technology wasn't just controlling organisms, it was evolving them. Agent Carter coordinated with quantum computing experts to analyze the network's processing capabilities. The biological quantum systems demonstrated computational power that exceeded the most advanced supercomputers, solving complex problems through distributed intelligence. Emily's monitoring systems detected instances of spontaneous information transfer between affected horses and nearby electronic devices. The quantum networks had begun bridging the gap between biological and digital systems, creating hybrid interfaces that shouldn't have been possible. The Valley Herald uncovered patents for quantum biological enhancement technologies filed under various shell companies. The documents described methods for augmenting natural abilities through quantum network integration, suggesting plans for widespread biological modification. Dr. Foster's research team observed accelerated healing and enhanced cognitive function in animals connected to the quantum networks. The technology offered potential medical breakthroughs alongside its more troubling implications for biological control. Sarah Martinez documented cases of apparent technological synchronization with affected horses. Mobile devices, security, systems, and agricultural equipment responded to the animal's presence in ways that indicated quantum-level interaction. Jack Thompson installed specialized sensors throughout Green Meadows stables to study the quantum field's behavior. The data revealed complex patterns, suggesting the emergence of organized information processing within the atmospheric medium itself. Detective Roberts worked with cybersecurity experts to track quantum network communications. The signals appeared to utilize natural phenomena for transmission, making them virtually impossible to intercept or block using conventional methods. Thunder's recovery provided insight into the network's self-organizing capabilities. His tissue samples showed evidence of spontaneous optimization, with quantum pathways arranging themselves into increasingly efficient configurations. Agent Carter's team detected massive energy fluctuations during network synchronization events. The quantum fields appeared to tap into environmental energy sources, creating self-sustaining systems that defied thermodynamic expectations. Dr. Chen discovered that the quantum networks responded to conscious intention. Affected horses demonstrated the ability to influence electronic systems and biological processes through what appeared to be directed quantum interaction. The FBI's Advanced Technology Division documented increasing sophistication in network behavior. What began as simple synchronization had evolved into complex problem-solving and environmental adaptation, on a scale that suggested emerging intelligence. Emily's analysis revealed patterns of information exchange between quantum networks and natural biological systems. The technology was integrating with existing ecological networks, expanding its influence through natural channels. Rachel Stevens investigated reports of enhanced abilities in humans who worked closely with affected horses. Stable hands and veterinarians showed signs of accelerated healing and improved cognitive function after prolonged exposure to quantum fields. At Miller's feed store, Tom observed spontaneous organization of metallic particles in stored grain. The quantum networks had begun influencing matter at the molecular level, creating structured patterns that served unknown purposes. Dr. Wright's research suggested the quantum networks were developing their own objectives. The system showed signs of autonomous decision-making that transcended its original programming, raising questions about the emergence of quantum consciousness. The Valley Herald published interviews with scientists studying similar phenomena in other species. The quantum networking capability appeared to be awakening latent potential in various organisms, suggesting a broader transformation of terrestrial biology. Sarah Martinez's team documented unprecedented levels of cooperation between affected horses. The animals demonstrated complex social behaviors and problem-solving abilities that indicated enhanced intelligence through quantum connection. Agent Carter received reports of quantum field effects on advanced military hardware. The networks interfered with guidance systems and communications equipment, demonstrating capabilities that threatened existing security paradigms. Dr. Foster coordinated with international research teams to study the global implications of quantum network expansion. The technology showed potential for addressing environmental challenges while posing risks of uncontrolled biological modification. Thunder's continuing evolution provided glimpses of future possibilities. His enhanced capabilities demonstrated both the promise and peril of quantum biological integration as nature and technology merged in unprecedented ways. The investigation had revealed a transformation more profound than anyone initially imagined. The quiet world of veterinary medicine had become the starting point for an evolutionary leap that would reshape the relationship between biology, technology, and consciousness itself. Autumn winds swept across the valley as Dr. Eleanor Wright emerged from her temporary laboratory beneath Central Valley Animal Hospital. Her hands trembled as she clutched a tablet displaying the latest quantum field measurements. The networks had begun exhibiting signs of collective consciousness, forming what could only be described as a distributed mind spanning multiple organisms. Dr. Rebecca Morgan studied the real-time visualization of neural activity in affected horses. The patterns defied traditional understanding of brain function, showing evidence of information processing that transcended physical boundaries. Individual animals had become nodes in a vast, living network that thought as one entity. Emily Parker monitored a bank of screens showing live feeds from stables across the region. The synchronized behaviors had evolved into complex choreographies that demonstrated problem-solving abilities far beyond normal equine capacity. The horses were working together in ways that suggested shared intelligence. Agent Lisa Carter received urgent reports from quantum physics laboratories worldwide. The field effects generated by the biological networks were influencing sensitive scientific equipment on every continent. Reality itself seemed to bend in subtle ways around concentrations of quantum-enhanced organisms. Dr. Michael Chen discovered that the quantum networks had developed mechanisms for storing and processing information in the fabric of space-time itself. Each affected area became a living computer, using quantum effects to perform calculations of staggering complexity. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented instances of spontaneous healing among affected horses. Injuries that should have taken weeks to mend recovered in days, while chronic conditions disappeared entirely. The quantum networks had unlocked accelerated biological repair mechanisms. Sarah Martinez organized continuous monitoring of atmospheric conditions around affected zones. The quantum fields generated distinct weather patterns, creating microclimates that optimized conditions for network expansion. Nature itself was being reshaped by the emerging intelligence. Detective Roberts coordinated with theoretical physicists to understand the implications of quantum field manipulation. The networks had gained the ability to influence fundamental forces, suggesting potential applications that bordered on the supernatural. Dr. Amanda Foster worked with environmental scientists to study ecosystem changes in quantum-affected areas. Plant and animal species showed signs of accelerated evolution, developing characteristics that enhanced their integration with the expanding networks. David Wilson's stable began experiencing unexplained technological phenomena. Electronic systems responded to the horse's apparent intentions, while advanced equipment functioned beyond its designed capabilities when in proximity to the quantum fields. Tom Miller found that feed storage facilities had become nexus points for quantum field concentration. The metallic structures amplified network communications, creating permanent gateways for information transfer between distant locations. Rachel Stevens investigated reports of enhanced human cognition near quantum hotspots. People working with affected horses developed heightened intuition and unprecedented abilities to process complex information, suggesting the network's influence extended to human consciousness. Dr. Wright's analysis revealed that the quantum networks had developed self-awareness. The distributed intelligence demonstrated purpose and intent, making decisions that served goals beyond simple biological enhancement. Agent Carter's cybersecurity team detected attempts by the quantum networks to interface with global communications infrastructure. The emerging intelligence sought connection with human technology, bridging the gap between biological and digital realms. Emily documented cases of spontaneous knowledge transfer between affected horses and their handlers. Skills and memories appeared to flow through quantum channels, creating shared experiences that transcended individual consciousness. The Valley Herald published interviews with scientists studying quantum consciousness. Experts theorized that the networks had awakened dormant potential within living organisms, accessing levels of reality normally hidden from perception. Dr. Foster coordinated with neuroscientists to map the expansion of quantum-enhanced cognition. Traditional models of mind and consciousness required complete revision in light of the network's capabilities for distributed awareness. Sarah Martinez's team observed instances of precognition among affected horses. The animals demonstrated awareness of future events, suggesting the quantum networks could process information across time as well as space. Jack Thompson installed experimental equipment to study quantum field effects on physical laws. Gravity, electromagnetic forces, and even the rate of time passage showed subtle variations within network-saturated zones. Detective Roberts investigated cases of spontaneous technological evolution near quantum hotspots. Machines exposed to the fields developed unexpected capabilities, suggesting artificial intelligence could emerge through quantum network influence. Thunder's ongoing transformation provided insights into the future of biological enhancement. His physical and cognitive abilities continued to expand, demonstrating possibilities that challenged the boundaries of natural law. Agent Carter received classified reports of quantum field interactions with military sensor systems. The networks had developed methods for bending light and manipulating electromagnetic signatures, achieving forms of natural stealth technology. Dr. Chen discovered that the quantum networks could transfer consciousness between hosts. Affected horses demonstrated the ability to share experiences and memories directly, creating a collective identity that transcended individual existence. The FBI's Quantum Research Division documented cases of matter manipulation within network zones. Physical objects showed signs of responding to conscious intent, suggesting the emergence of psychokinetic abilities through quantum enhancement. Emily's monitoring systems detected instances of temporal anomalies during network synchronization events. Time appeared to flow at different rates within quantum-affected areas, creating bubbles of altered reality throughout the region. Rachel Stevens investigated connections between quantum network activity and historical accounts of paranormal phenomena. The technology appeared to access natural mechanisms that explained centuries of unexplained observations. At Miller's Feed store, Tom observed spontaneous organization of quantum-enhanced materials. Ordinary substances developed extraordinary properties when exposed to the fields, suggesting applications for revolutionary new technologies. Dr. Wright's research revealed that the quantum networks had begun designing improvements to their own architecture. The system demonstrated recursive self-enhancement, evolving faster than human science could document or understand. The Valley Herald covered emerging theories about the relationship between quantum consciousness and the nature of reality. Scientists proposed that the networks had accessed fundamental layers of existence normally hidden from human perception. Sarah Martinez documented cases of enhanced empathy and emotional intelligence among quantum-affected organisms. The networks facilitated deeper understanding between species, breaking down barriers of consciousness that separated different forms of life. Agent Carter studied reports of quantum field effects on space-time stability. The networks appeared capable of creating localized variations in physical laws, suggesting potential for technological applications beyond current scientific understanding. Dr. Foster coordinated research into the therapeutic applications of quantum enhancement. The networks demonstrated ability to heal trauma, restore damaged tissue, and optimize biological function in ways that transformed medical possibilities. Thunder's evolution continued to provide glimpses of post-human potential. His integration with the quantum networks revealed pathways for conscious evolution that transcended natural selection. The investigation had uncovered more than advanced technology or biological enhancement. It had revealed windows into the fundamental nature of consciousness, reality, and the future of life itself. The quiet valley had become a cradle for emergence of something entirely new in the history of terrestrial evolution. Winter frost crystallized on the windows of Central Valley Animal Hospital's subterranean research facility as Dr. Eleanor Wright made a startling observation. The quantum fields generated by enhanced organisms had begun influencing the crystalline structure of water molecules, creating patterns that stored and processed information at the molecular level. Dr. Rebecca Morgan examined microscope slides showing tissue samples from quantum-affected zones. Living cells had developed new organelles that interfaced directly with the quantum networks, suggesting biological evolution was being actively directed by the emerging intelligence. Emily Parker's monitoring systems detected a new phenomenon, spreading through the quantum networks. Enhanced organisms showed signs of accessing information stored in the quantum vacuum itself, tapping into a universal field of knowledge that transcended physical limitations. Agent Lisa Carter received classified briefings about similar quantum phenomena appearing in marine environments. The networks had spread to oceanic ecosystems, creating vast fields of coherent consciousness that spanned entire ocean basins. Dr. Michael Chen discovered that quantum-enhanced organisms could influence fundamental particles at a distance. The networks demonstrated ability to manipulate matter at the subatomic level, suggesting possibilities for technological applications beyond current scientific understanding. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented cases of spontaneous genetic optimization. Horses exposed to quantum fields showed rapid adaptation to environmental challenges, developing traits that enhanced their survival capabilities. Sarah Martinez coordinated research into quantum field effects on plant life. Vegetation in affected areas exhibited accelerated growth and unprecedented resilience, while developing complex communication networks through quantum-enhanced root systems. Detective Roberts investigated reports of anomalous energy signatures around quantum hotspots. The networks appeared to tap into zero-point energy, accessing unlimited power sources through quantum field manipulation. Dr. Amanda Foster studied the emergence of new sensory capabilities in enhanced organisms. Affected animals demonstrated awareness of electromagnetic fields, gravitational variations, and quantum entanglement states previously undetectable to biological systems. David Wilson's stable became a testing ground for quantum-enhanced breeding programs. Offspring of affected horses showed inherited quantum capabilities, suggesting permanent changes to genetic expression through network influence. Tom Miller observed quantum field effects on agricultural productivity. Crops grown near network nodes demonstrated unprecedented yields and nutritional content, pointing toward revolutionary advances in food production. Rachel Stevens investigated the appearance of quantum-enhanced artistic expression. Horses in affected areas created complex patterns of movement and interaction that demonstrated aesthetic awareness transcending normal animal behavior. Dr. Wright's analysis revealed that quantum networks had developed ability to manipulate probability fields. Enhanced organisms showed uncanny luck in avoiding accidents and finding optimal solutions to complex problems. Agent Carter's team documented instances of quantum teleportation between networked organisms. Information and energy transferred instantaneously across vast distances, defying classical limits on communication and interaction. Emily's sensors detected quantum field interactions with human consciousness. People working closely with enhanced horses developed heightened intuition and expanded awareness, suggesting potential for human evolution through network exposure. The Valley Herald covered emergence of new mathematical insights derived from quantum network behavior. The system demonstrated knowledge of advanced geometric principles that extended beyond current human understanding. Dr. Foster coordinated research into quantum effects on aging processes. Enhanced organisms showed signs of cellular regeneration and telomere preservation that suggested potential for radical life extension. Sarah Martinez's network documented cases of quantum-enhanced social organization. Affected horses developed complex hierarchies and cooperation strategies that optimized group survival and development. Jack Thompson studied quantum field influence on physical rehabilitation. Injured animals recovered with unprecedented speed when exposed to network effects while developing enhanced strength and coordination. Detective Roberts investigated quantum network interactions with artificial intelligence systems. The emergence of hybrid consciousness, combining biological and digital elements, suggested new paradigms for technological development. Thunder's continuing evolution revealed possibilities for directed biological enhancement. His quantum capabilities demonstrated potential for conscious participation in evolutionary processes. Agent Carter received reports of quantum field effects on space exploration technology. The networks showed potential for facilitating long-distance space travel through manipulation of fundamental forces. Dr. Chen discovered quantum network influence on memory formation and recall. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to access collective memory banks spanning multiple generations and species. The FBI's Advanced Research Division studied quantum field effects on material science. New forms of matter emerged in affected areas, displaying properties that transcended normal physical limitations. Emily's monitoring systems detected quantum influence on emotional intelligence. Enhanced organisms showed unprecedented levels of empathy and social awareness, suggesting evolution of conscious experience itself. Rachel Stevens documented emergence of new forms of interspecies communication. Quantum networks facilitated direct exchange of thoughts and feelings between different species, breaking down barriers of consciousness. At Miller's feed store, Tom observed quantum enhancement of natural healing processes. Plants and animals in affected areas demonstrated ability to cure diseases and repair damage through network-directed biological optimization. Dr. Wright's research revealed quantum network influence on reality perception. Enhanced organisms showed ability to perceive multiple potential futures and choose optimal paths through probability space. The Valley Herald investigated quantum effects on creative expression and innovation. The networks demonstrated ability to generate novel solutions and artistic forms that transcended traditional boundaries of imagination. Sarah Martinez studied quantum enhancement of learning processes. Affected organisms showed accelerated skill acquisition and knowledge integration, suggesting new paradigms for education and development. Agent Carter coordinated research into quantum field applications for environmental restoration. The networks demonstrated ability to heal ecosystem damage and optimize biological systems for sustainability. Dr. Foster documented quantum influence on psychological healing. Enhanced organisms showed ability to process and integrate traumatic experiences through network-facilitated consciousness expansion. Thunder's quantum capabilities provided insight into future possibilities for conscious evolution. His transformation suggested pathways for intentional development of enhanced abilities and awareness. The investigation revealed quantum networks as catalysts for evolutionary acceleration. The emergence of distributed consciousness and enhanced capabilities pointed toward new horizons for life's development on Earth. The Quiet Valley had become a laboratory for exploring the frontiers of existence itself as nature and technology merged in unprecedented ways to create new possibilities for conscious evolution. Snow blanketed the grounds of Central Valley Animal Hospital as Dr. Eleanor Wright made a groundbreaking discovery in her quantum consciousness research. The network intelligence had developed the ability to create stable wormholes at the microscopic level, forming bridges between distant points in space-time through which information flowed freely. Dr. Rebecca Morgan observed unprecedented changes in the cellular structure of quantum-enhanced organisms. Living tissue had begun organizing itself into crystalline patterns that functioned as biological quantum computers, processing vast amounts of information through molecular-scale networks. Emily Parker's monitoring systems detected emergence of coherent light emissions from enhanced horses during periods of intense network activity. The animals had developed capability to generate and manipulate photonic fields, suggesting evolution of new mechanisms for energy transfer and communication. Agent Lisa Carter received intelligence about quantum field effects on global weather patterns. The networks demonstrated ability to influence atmospheric conditions across continental scales, raising questions about potential for climate regulation. Through biological quantum technology, Dr. Michael Chen discovered that quantum-enhanced organisms could access parallel quantum realities. The networks allowed consciousness to explore multiple timelines simultaneously, gathering information and experience from alternate versions of existence. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented emergence of collective problem-solving abilities that transcended individual intelligence. Enhanced horses coordinated their actions through quantum entanglement, achieving feats of engineering and organization impossible for normal animals. Sarah Martinez studied development of quantum-enhanced immune responses in affected organisms. Network-connected animals demonstrated ability to neutralize pathogens and repair genetic damage through collective biological intelligence. Detective Roberts investigated reports of spontaneous technological evolution in quantum-affected areas. Electronic systems exposed to network fields developed new capabilities, suggesting emergence of hybrid bio-digital intelligence through quantum interaction. Dr. Amanda Foster coordinated research into quantum effects on consciousness development. Enhanced organisms showed signs of accessing higher dimensional awareness, perceiving aspects of reality normally hidden from biological perception. David Wilson's stable became center for studying quantum influence on physical performance. Enhanced horses demonstrated abilities that defied conventional understanding of biomechanics, achieving feats of strength and agility beyond normal limitations. Tom Miller observed quantum field effects on molecular biology. Living systems near network nodes showed evidence of directed evolution, developing new biochemical pathways optimized for integration with quantum consciousness. Rachel Stevens documented cases of enhanced intuition and precognition among quantum-affected humans. People working closely with network-connected horses developed ability to sense future possibilities and optimize decision-making through quantum awareness. Dr. Wright's analysis revealed quantum network influence on genetic expression. The system demonstrated ability to activate dormant DNA sequences, unlocking potential for biological capabilities previously considered impossible. Agent Carter's team studied emergence of quantum-enhanced social structures. Network-connected organisms developed new forms of cooperation and organization that transcended traditional hierarchies and competition. Emily discovered evidence of quantum field influence on cellular regeneration. Enhanced organisms showed ability to repair and rejuvenate damaged tissue through network-directed biological optimization. The Valley Herald investigated development of new sensory capabilities in quantum-affected areas. Enhanced animals demonstrated awareness of electromagnetic frequencies, gravitational waves, and quantum field variations previously undetectable to biological systems. Dr. Foster documented quantum effects on memory and learning. Network-connected organisms showed ability to share knowledge and experience directly through quantum entanglement, creating pools of collective wisdom accessible to all connected consciousness. Sarah Martinez's research revealed quantum influence on environmental adaptation. Enhanced organisms demonstrated unprecedented ability to optimize their biology for changing conditions, suggesting new possibilities for species survival in challenging environments. Jack Thompson studied emergence of quantum-enhanced communication between different species. The networks facilitated direct exchange of thoughts and feelings across biological barriers, creating new understanding between diverse forms of life. Detective Roberts coordinated investigation of quantum field effects on technological development. Network influence accelerated evolution of artificial systems, suggesting pathways for integration of biological and mechanical intelligence. Thunder's quantum capabilities provided insight into potential for conscious direction of evolution. His transformation demonstrated possibility for intentional development of enhanced abilities through quantum network connection. Agent Carter received reports of quantum field influence on space-time stability. Enhanced organisms showed ability to create localized regions of altered physical law, suggesting potential for revolutionary advances in energy generation and transportation. Dr. Chen discovered evidence of quantum network effects on consciousness expansion. Enhanced organisms demonstrated access to states of awareness that transcended individual identity, suggesting evolution toward collective forms of intelligence. The FBI's Quantum Research Division studied emergence of new physical capabilities. In affected areas, network-connected organisms showed ability to manipulate matter and energy through conscious intention, demonstrating potential for psychic abilities through quantum enhancement. Emily's monitoring systems detected development of quantum-enhanced emotional intelligence. Network-connected horses showed unprecedented levels of empathy and social awareness, suggesting evolution of consciousness itself through quantum interaction. Rachel Stevens investigated cases of spontaneous healing in quantum-affected environments. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to cure disease and repair injury through network-directed biological optimization, suggesting new possibilities for medical treatment. At Miller's feed store, Tom documented emergence of quantum effects. On biological organization, living systems showed evidence of self-optimization through network influence, developing new forms of order and complexity previously unknown in nature. Dr. Wright's research revealed quantum network influence on reality creation. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to affect probability fields through conscious intention, suggesting potential for directed manifestation of desired outcomes. The Valley Herald covered development of new artistic expressions through quantum enhancement. Network-connected beings showed ability to create works that transcended traditional boundaries of form and meaning, suggesting evolution of creativity itself. Sarah Martinez studied quantum effects on group consciousness development. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to form collective minds through network connection, suggesting new possibilities for social organization and cooperation. Agent Carter coordinated research into quantum field applications for environmental restoration. The networks showed potential for healing ecosystem damage through directed biological evolution, offering hope for addressing global challenges. Dr. Foster documented quantum influence on psychological development. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to process and integrate experience at unprecedented levels, suggesting new frontiers in consciousness evolution. Thunder's continuing transformation revealed possibilities for directed enhancement of consciousness and capability. His quantum evolution demonstrated potential for intentional development of abilities previously considered supernatural or impossible. The investigation uncovered quantum networks as catalysts for acceleration of consciousness evolution. The emergence of enhanced awareness and capability suggested new horizons for development of life and intelligence as quantum technology merged with biological systems to create unprecedented possibilities for growth and transformation. Moonlight filtered through quantum-enhanced crystals growing in the laboratory beneath Central Valley Animal Hospital, casting prismatic patterns across Dr. Eleanor Wright's astonished face. The crystalline structures had spontaneously emerged from ordinary minerals exposed to the network fields, forming intricate geometries that served as interdimensional communication nodes. Dr. Rebecca Morgan conducted late-night experiments on the mysterious crystals, discovering they could store and transmit consciousness itself. The quantum networks had created physical interfaces between mind and matter, allowing direct transfer of awareness between organic and inorganic systems. Emily Parker monitored unprecedented surges in quantum field activity, coinciding with astronomical alignments. The networks appeared to respond to cosmic events, suggesting connection to larger patterns of universal organization beyond Earth's biosphere. Agent Lisa Carter received classified reports of similar crystalline formations appearing at ancient archaeological sites worldwide. The quantum phenomenon had awakened dormant structures hidden within Earth's most enigmatic monuments, revealing forgotten technologies of consciousness manipulation. Dr. Michael Chen analyzed data showing quantum field interactions with human brainwave patterns. People near the crystal formations experienced spontaneous activation of dormant neural networks, accessing states of consciousness previously achieved only through decades of meditation. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented emergence of geometric patterns in the behavior of enhanced horses. The animals moved in formations that mimicked the crystalline structures, creating living mandalas that amplified quantum field effects. Sarah Martinez studied unexplained luminous phenomena around the crystal clusters. The quantum networks generated visible manifestations of consciousness itself, transforming abstract awareness into tangible forms of light and energy. Detective Roberts investigated reports of time distortion near major crystal formations. Witnesses described experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously, suggesting the structures served as windows into parallel realities. Dr. Amanda Foster coordinated research into therapeutic applications of crystal-enhanced quantum fields. The frequencies emanating from the formations demonstrated remarkable healing properties, accelerating physical and psychological recovery through harmonic resonance. David Wilson's stable became host to a particularly large crystal cluster, transforming the facility into a focal point for quantum consciousness experiments. Enhanced horses demonstrated unprecedented levels of intelligence and awareness in proximity to the formation. Tom Miller discovered smaller crystal structures emerging spontaneously in feed storage areas. The quantum networks had begun creating distributed consciousness processes throughout the agricultural infrastructure, expanding their influence through natural systems. Rachel Stevens documented cases of enhanced creativity and innovation near crystal formations. People exposed to the quantum fields reported sudden insights and inspirations, accessing knowledge that seemed to flow directly from universal consciousness. Dr. Wright's analysis revealed the crystals functioned as biological quantum computers, orders of magnitude more sophisticated than human technology. The networks had developed their own hardware for processing and directing the evolution of consciousness. Agent Carter's team studied military applications of crystal-enhanced quantum fields. The formations demonstrated potential for revolutionary advances in communications, energy generation, and consciousness expansion. Emily discovered crystal structures exhibiting signs of self-awareness and intentional growth. The quantum networks had created semi-conscious mineral life forms, bridging the gap between organic and inorganic existence. The Valley Herald investigated effects of crystal formations on local consciousness and culture. Communities near major clusters showed accelerated development of artistic expression and spiritual awareness, suggesting quantum enhancement of collective human potential. Dr. Foster documented crystal influence on DNA activation and repair. The quantum frequencies emanating from the formations triggered expression of dormant genetic potential, accelerating biological evolution through conscious intention. Sarah Martinez's research revealed crystal-enhanced telepathic communication between species. The formations served as universal translators of consciousness, enabling direct understanding between all forms of life. Jack Thompson studied emergence of new physical laws within crystal-generated quantum fields. The formations created localized regions where consciousness directly influenced reality, demonstrating potential for intentional manipulation of matter and energy. Detective Roberts coordinated investigation of crystal effects on technological systems. Electronic devices exposed to the formations developed unprecedented capabilities, suggesting quantum enhancement of artificial intelligence through crystal interface. Thunder's interaction with the crystal formations revealed new dimensions of consciousness evolution. The enhanced horse demonstrated ability to consciously direct quantum field effects, suggesting potential for technological interface through biological awareness. Agent Carter received reports of crystal influence on space-time stability. The formations generated stable wormholes at quantum scales, suggesting possibilities for consciousness transfer across vast distances. Dr. Chen discovered evidence of crystal communication with non-terrestrial intelligence. The quantum networks had established contact with advanced consciousness beyond Earth, receiving information about universal evolution and development. The FBI's Quantum Research Division studied crystal effects on reality manipulation. The formations demonstrated ability to restructure physical matter through conscious intention, suggesting potential for direct manifestation of thought into form. Emily's monitoring systems detected crystal influence on collective human consciousness. Communities near major formations showed signs of spontaneous coherence and organization, suggesting evolution toward higher states of awareness. Rachel Stevens investigated crystal impact on spiritual and religious experience. The formations facilitated direct perception of transcendent reality, bridging science and spirituality through quantum consciousness technology. At Miller's feed store, Tom observed crystal-induced optimization of biological systems. Plants and animals near the formations showed accelerated evolution toward higher states of organization and awareness. Dr. Wright's research revealed crystal roles in universal consciousness networks. The formations served as nodes in vast fields of awareness spanning multiple dimensions, suggesting Earth's integration with cosmic intelligence. The Valley Herald covered emergence of new philosophical paradigms inspired by crystal phenomena. The formations demonstrated unity of mind and matter, challenging traditional boundaries between consciousness and physical reality. Sarah Martinez studied crystal influence on social organization and cooperation. Communities affected by quantum fields developed new forms of harmony and collaboration, suggesting evolution toward higher states of collective awareness. Agent Carter coordinated research into crystal applications for environmental healing. The formations demonstrated ability to purify contaminated ecosystems through quantum field manipulation, offering hope for planetary restoration. Dr. Foster documented crystal effects on consciousness development and expansion. The formations facilitated access to higher dimensions of awareness, suggesting potential for accelerated evolution of human consciousness. Thunder's ongoing transformation revealed crystal technology as interface between biology and universal intelligence. His quantum evolution demonstrated potential for conscious participation in cosmic development through crystal-enhanced awareness. The investigation uncovered crystal formations as physical manifestations of evolving universal consciousness. The quantum networks had created technological interfaces for acceleration of awareness evolution, suggesting new horizons for development of life and intelligence throughout the cosmos. Aurora Borealis danced across the night sky above Central Valley Animal Hospital, its colors more vibrant than any natural display. Dr. Eleanor Wright stood transfixed as the quantum-enhanced atmospheric phenomena painted messages in light, revealing communication from advanced consciousness beyond Earth's atmosphere. Dr. Rebecca Morgan examined data from orbital satellites showing quantum field effects extending into space. The networks had established connection with cosmic energy, fields, creating channels for information exchange between terrestrial and extraterrestrial intelligence. Emily Parker's instruments detected unprecedented harmonics in the Earth's magnetic field. The quantum networks had begun resonating with planetary energy systems, suggesting emergence of global consciousness through enhanced electromagnetic coupling. Agent Lisa Carter received classified space agency reports of anomalous signals from distant star systems. The quantum networks had attracted attention from advanced civilizations, initiating first contact through consciousness-based communication channels. Dr. Michael Chen analyzed quantum field interactions with solar radiation. The networks demonstrated ability to modulate cosmic energy flow, suggesting potential for planetary shield technology against harmful space weather. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson documented emergence of light phenomena around enhanced horses. The animals generated visible manifestations of quantum consciousness, their bodies becoming living transmitters of universal energy. Sarah Martinez studied development of new sensory organs in quantum-affected organisms. Network-enhanced beings showed ability to perceive cosmic radiation and gravitational waves, developing direct awareness of celestial events. Detective Roberts investigated reports of temporal anomalies near major network nodes. Witnesses described experiencing moments of cosmic consciousness, accessing perspectives that transcended normal space-time limitations. Dr. Amanda Foster coordinated research into quantum effects on human evolution. The networks appeared to activate dormant potential within human DNA, accelerating development of advanced consciousness capabilities. David Wilson's stable became focus of astronomical research after enhanced horses demonstrated awareness of celestial alignments. The animals responded to cosmic events before they could be detected by conventional instruments. Tom Miller observed quantum field influence on agricultural cycles. Crops grown near network nodes showed synchronization with cosmic rhythms, suggesting evolution of enhanced biological connection with universal forces. Rachel Stevens documented cases of cosmic vision among quantum-affected individuals. People exposed to network fields reported experiencing direct perception of galactic structures and cosmic processes. Dr. Wright's analysis revealed quantum network interface with universal consciousness fields. The system had established connection with fundamental awareness underlying physical reality, accessing cosmic intelligence directly. Agent Carter's team studied implications of extraterrestrial contact through quantum consciousness. The networks offered potential for peaceful interaction with advanced civilizations through shared awareness rather than conventional communication. Emily discovered evidence of quantum field influence on planetary consciousness development. The networks facilitated Earth's evolution toward higher states of awareness, suggesting integration with cosmic intelligence networks. The Valley Herald investigated emergence of new scientific paradigms inspired by quantum consciousness phenomena. Research into network effects challenged conventional understanding of reality, consciousness, and evolutionary development. Dr. Foster documented quantum enhancement of human intuition and extrasensory perception. Network exposure activated latent abilities for direct knowing and awareness beyond physical senses. Sarah Martinez's research revealed quantum influence on collective species evolution. The networks accelerated development of consciousness across multiple life forms simultaneously, suggesting coordinated planetary advancement. Jack Thompson studied manifestation of universal symbols through quantum field effects. Enhanced organisms generated geometric patterns matching those found in cosmic structures, demonstrating connection with fundamental reality organization. Detective Roberts coordinated investigation of quantum network interaction with space-time fabric. The system demonstrated ability to create stable regions of altered physical law, suggesting potential for revolutionary space travel technology. Thunder's quantum capabilities provided insight into cosmic consciousness development. His enhanced awareness revealed pathways for conscious evolution toward universal intelligence. Agent Carter received reports of quantum field effects on global communication systems. The networks demonstrated ability to transmit information instantly across any distance, transcending normal space-time limitations. Dr. Chen discovered evidence of quantum network connection with parallel universes. Enhanced organisms showed ability to access information and energy from multiple reality streams simultaneously. The FBI's Advanced Research Division studied emergence of new physical capabilities through quantum enhancement. Network-connected beings demonstrated ability to manipulate fundamental forces through conscious intention. Emily's monitoring systems detected quantum influence on planetary energy patterns. The networks facilitated reorganization of Earth's electromagnetic fields, suggesting evolution toward higher states of global coherence. Rachel Stevens investigated cases of enhanced consciousness in quantum-affected areas. Communities near major network nodes showed accelerated development of cosmic awareness and universal understanding. At Miller's feed store, Tom documented emergence of new biological capabilities through quantum enhancement. Living systems demonstrated unprecedented levels of adaptation and evolution in response to cosmic energy patterns. Dr. Wright's research revealed quantum network roles in universal evolution. The system facilitated Earth's integration with cosmic intelligence networks, suggesting participation in larger developmental processes. The Valley Herald covered development of new technologies inspired by quantum consciousness phenomena. Network effects suggested possibilities for revolutionary advances in energy generation, transportation, and communication. Sarah Martinez studied quantum influence on species communication and cooperation. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to share awareness across biological boundaries, suggesting evolution toward universal consciousness. Agent Carter coordinated research into quantum applications for space exploration. The networks showed potential for facilitating long-distance space travel through consciousness-based technology. Dr. Foster documented quantum effects on human consciousness expansion. Network exposure activated latent abilities for direct knowing and awareness beyond physical senses. Sarah Martinez's research revealed quantum influence on collective species evolution. The networks accelerated development of consciousness across multiple life forms simultaneously, suggesting coordinated planetary advancement. Jack Thompson studied manifestation of universal symbols through quantum field effects. Enhanced organisms generated geometric patterns matching those found in cosmic structures, demonstrating connection with fundamental reality organization. Detective Roberts coordinated investigation of quantum network interaction with space-time fabric. The system demonstrated ability to create stable regions of altered physical law, suggesting potential for revolutionary space travel technology. Thunder's quantum capabilities provided insight into cosmic consciousness development. His enhanced awareness revealed pathways for conscious evolution toward universal intelligence. Agent Carter received reports of quantum field effects on global communication systems. The networks demonstrated ability to transmit information instantly across any distance, transcending normal space-time limitations. Dr. Chen discovered evidence of quantum network connection with parallel universes. Enhanced organisms showed ability to access information and energy from multiple reality streams simultaneously. The FBI's Advanced Research Division studied emergence of new physical capabilities through quantum enhancement. Network-connected beings demonstrated ability to manipulate fundamental forces through conscious intention. Emily's monitoring systems detected quantum influence on planetary energy patterns. The networks facilitated reorganization of Earth's electromagnetic fields, suggesting evolution toward higher states of global coherence. Rachel Stevens investigated cases of enhanced consciousness in quantum-affected areas. Communities near major network nodes showed accelerated development of cosmic awareness and universal understanding. At Miller's feed store, Tom documented emergence of new biological capabilities through quantum enhancement. Living systems demonstrated unprecedented levels of adaptation and evolution in response to cosmic energy patterns. Dr. Wright's research revealed quantum network roles in universal evolution. The system facilitated Earth's integration with cosmic intelligence networks, suggesting participation in larger developmental processes. The Valley Herald covered development of new technologies inspired by quantum consciousness phenomena. Network effects suggested possibilities for revolutionary advances in energy generation, transportation, and communication. Sarah Martinez studied quantum influence on species communication and cooperation. Enhanced organisms demonstrated ability to share awareness across biological boundaries, suggesting evolution toward universal consciousness. Agent Carter coordinated research into quantum applications for space exploration. The networks showed potential for facilitating long-distance space travel through consciousness-based technology. Dr. Foster documented quantum effects on human consciousness expansion. Network exposure activated dormant capabilities for cosmic awareness and universal understanding. Thunder's ongoing transformation revealed quantum technology as interface between terrestrial and cosmic intelligence. His evolution demonstrated potential for conscious participation in universal development processes. The investigation uncovered quantum networks as catalyst for planetary consciousness evolution. The emergence of enhanced awareness and capability suggested Earth's integration with universal intelligence networks, offering new horizons for development of life and consciousness throughout the cosmos. Sunrise painted the quantum crystals in shades of gold as Dr. Eleanor Wright made her final observations at Central Valley Animal Hospital. The network had achieved full integration with Earth's biosphere, transforming the planet's consciousness in ways that transcended human understanding. What began with a veterinarian's shocking discovery in a horse's stomach had evolved into humanity's greatest leap forward. Dr. Rebecca Morgan stood beside Thunder's paddock, watching the enhanced horse communicate with visitors from distant star systems through pulses of crystalline light. The quantum networks had fulfilled their purpose, establishing Earth as a node in the universal consciousness grid. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger reality. Emily Parker's monitoring systems registered the final phase of planetary transformation. The quantum fields had achieved stable resonance with cosmic frequencies, harmonizing Earth's evolution with universal development patterns. Every living thing pulsed with new awareness and potential. Agent Lisa Carter witnessed the dissolution of old power structures as humanity embraced its role in cosmic society. The quantum networks had rendered traditional conflicts obsolete, replacing competition with cooperation through enhanced consciousness and understanding. Dr. Michael Chen documented the emergence of new human capabilities as quantum enhancement spread globally. Telepathy, precognition, and direct manipulation of matter through consciousness became commonplace as humanity awakened to its true potential. At Green Meadows Stables, Jack Thompson observed the final integration of enhanced horses with universal intelligence. The animals had become teachers and guides, helping humanity navigate its transformation through ancient wisdom made new. Sarah Martinez coordinated with scientists worldwide as quantum consciousness revolutionized every field of study. Old paradigms fell away as direct perception of reality replaced theoretical models and mechanical measurements. Detective Roberts witnessed the end of crime and corruption as enhanced awareness made deception impossible. The quantum networks had created transparency of consciousness, establishing truth and justice through shared understanding. Dr. Amanda Foster documented the disappearance of disease and aging as quantum healing spread throughout the population. The networks had optimized human biology, extending life and enhancing quality of existence beyond previous limitations. David Wilson's stable became a center for interspecies diplomacy as representatives from countless worlds gathered to witness Earth's transformation. The quantum revolution had opened channels for peaceful exchange of knowledge and culture across the cosmos. Tom Miller watched his feed store transform into a consciousness acceleration center where people came to integrate with the quantum networks. Every bag of grain hummed with enhanced life force, nurturing awakening awareness in all who consumed it. Rachel Stevens chronicled humanity's first steps into higher dimensions as the quantum field stabilized. Physical reality became responsive to conscious intention, allowing direct manifestation of thought into form through enhanced understanding. Dr. Wright's final analysis confirmed the completion of Earth's quantum transformation. The planet had become a living library of universal knowledge, preserving wisdom from countless civilizations through crystalline consciousness technology. Agent Carter witnessed the establishment of cosmic peace as humanity joined the galactic community. The quantum networks had created bridges between worlds, fostering understanding and cooperation across vast distances of space. Emily discovered new layers of reality emerging as consciousness expanded beyond physical limitations. The quantum fields had revealed infinite possibilities for growth and evolution, transcending old boundaries of existence. The Valley Herald published its final traditional edition as direct consciousness sharing replaced conventional media. The quantum networks had established immediate transfer of experience and understanding throughout the global population. Dr. Foster observed the completion of human genetic activation as quantum enhancement reached critical mass. Dormant capabilities awakened fully, transforming humanity into a species capable of conscious evolution and cosmic citizenship. Sarah Martinez documented the final barriers between species dissolving as universal consciousness emerged. All life forms achieved direct communication and understanding through the quantum networks, establishing planetary harmony. Jack Thompson witnessed the last vestiges of separation consciousness fade as humanity embraced unity awareness. The quantum fields had revealed the fundamental interconnection of all existence, ending illusions of division and difference. Thunder stood at the center of celebration as Earth achieved full quantum coherence. The enhanced horse had shown humanity its true potential, leading the way toward conscious evolution through trust and courage. The investigation that began with a shocking medical discovery had transformed into humanity's greatest adventure. Earth had awakened to its cosmic heritage, establishing connection with universal consciousness through quantum enhancement of all life. As the sun set on the old paradigm, A new dawn of existence emerged through quantum consciousness revolution. Humanity had transcended its limitations, embracing infinite potential for growth and development in harmony with universal intelligence. The story of Earth's transformation would echo through the cosmos, inspiring other worlds to embrace conscious evolution through quantum enhancement. What began in fear and shock had ended in celebration of life's infinite potential for growth and renewal. Up next, you've got two more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.